There we go. Now you can actually hear me. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, I've been going a bit on Mass Effect 3. I haven't, so on that launch screen, that piece of artwork, that was actually done, since I don't necessarily know everybody, and how much they know everybody, the coyote that was on my starting screen is, was done by, Rachel, before she and Sean moved up to New York. And then, yeah, I'm a bit into Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 2, this is one of those things. I feel that everybody should take and pick something and plant their flag on, this is my favorite of a thing. My favorite video game is Mass Effect 2. I think that it is the best combination of story, character, and mechanics. It is... I'm not going to call it a perfect game, but it is everything that I wanted. I think I've played it now 9 times. Mass Effect 3, I think this is my 3rd or 4th time playing. This is my first time playing through the Mass Effect series with a single Shepard. So my Shepard that I have now, I started in Mass Effect Legendary Edition because that has... Oh my god, the quality of life improvements in the first Mass Effect are amazing in this version. And we continue on. I am doing some exploration and side missions. Before I go get my favorite, before I get my favorite squad mate, because sadly I can't get them yet. Or they're in this one a late game squad mate.
Commander?
Chakwas wants to talk to me in the med bay, so I gotta go down to the crew deck. I'm trying to be good. I always end up in Mass Effect 3, whenever, and always being the 3 times that I've done it. I always end up having a relationship with, as a carriover from Mass Effect 1.
May I speak with you, Commander?
With Liara, and continuing as much as I can in the in the DLC for Mass Effect 2. I don't want to spoil things since you just finished it, and I don't know if you did all the DLC for it. Hi everybody, good to see you. But I always end up
Commander,
inadvertently
an
romancing.
opportunity has come to my attention that may interest you.
What's going on, Doctor?
Refugees arrived at the
Trainer
Citadel recently
in
in possession of military-grade medical supplies and
And
equipment.
I'm trying to be a good
In
shepherd.
reviewing our inventories, I determined we have an excess of medical supplies to treat contagion, exposure, and malnutrition.
They're equipped to help injured soldiers, and we have supplies to help suffering refugees.
Precisely. Perhaps you could ply your charms to broker a trade.
I'll find the refugees as soon as I can.
Speak with Tactus. Many of the refugees near the Citadel docks look to him for leadership. Thank you, Commander. With access to their equipment and materials, I believe I could increase the effectiveness of our Medigel.
So we're gonna do a little bit of running around because there are things that I actually missed being able to complete a mission.
Greetings, Commander.
This is my favorite game series. Period. End of story.
It's good to see you. It's good
It's
to see you.
followed very, very, very closely now by the Yakuza series. Which I still need to finish Yakuza 6. Even though I've finished Like a Dragon. So everybody who's wandering around, wandering in now, doing a,
Commander.
I just finished, the invasion of the Citadel. Which I'm trying not to say too much because it is a little bit spoilery if you haven't. I'm later in the game. This is the 7th stream I'm doing, or the 8th stream I'm doing of Mass Effect, 3. So,
Shepard,
I've got a bit.
I was hoping you'd kick in again.
You okay?
Been putting my old academy training to use. Organizing the resistance.
Cat Fisher is deciding he needs
You know, you've got quite a
he
fan
needs
club
face
back here.
stretches while I'm
Any
playing.
news we hear about the Normandy gives hope to the guys in the trenches.
I know what that's like, fighting in the dark. I'm glad we're making a difference.
It's more than that. A lot of these people have never held a gun in their life. When they heard that you managed to get the Turians and Krogan to cooperate, that was a shot in the arm, Shepard. Of the one thing we're in short supply around here. Faith. That any of us will live to see another day.
How bad is it?
It could be worse, but not much.
Can you still coordinate any kind of counterattack?
We're hitting the Reapers every chance we get. Mostly guerrilla-style hit-and-runs. But it's not enough. It's time we started focusing our efforts.
Where?
London. Something big is happening there. Our networks in the UK say the Reapers have arrived in huge numbers.
I don't like the sound of that. Any more details?
No. And that scares the hell out of me.
Well, the Crucible will scare the hell out of the Reapers.
So,
We're counting on it. Oh, and Shepard, I meant what I said earlier about Kai Lang. The Reapers may seem like our biggest threat, but take it from me. Lang is a vicious bastard. Don't underestimate him.
Noted.
Then I'll let you get back to it. We need whatever good news you can send our way. Anderson out.
so because I remember when this game launched, that London thing is actually a reference to the trailer for this. Because it actually, the first trailer for Mass Effect 3 was Reapers attacking London. And that, going down there. And so that's what that message that we just had was a reference to.
Commander Shepard.
And these two always have good conversations whenever you complete a big mission.
Commander.
So we're gonna go and see, the places where it's flashing are the places where we have missions. I'm running around because there are a bunch of side missions that get you resources that make the end game easier. I don't think there's one. Sirkash. Gemini Stigma, Attic Beta. Cluster, Secret Cradle. Usually, the ones with the Reapers on them are the ones that actually have, where you can actually find stuff. And the mining system in this one, sorry, I'm eating some pizza, is, or the probe system in this is decidedly less,
I found
boring
something.
and tedious than Mass Effect 2. It's essentially the same, but you're only basically looking for the things that were anomalies in Mass Effect 2. That's all you're looking for in this. And we
Evasion successful.
Zoidberg out of there. Away from the Reapers.
Signal confirmed.
As we got a lot to find here. And the thing is, you want to find everything. I at least try and find it as in as few visits to the system as possible, just to make my life easier, so I don't have to keep doubling back and doubling back and doubling back and doubling back. But sometimes those pesky Reapers just don't make it easy.
Reapers eluded.
See, in here we got 83%, but we didn't find any. We found in the 2 extra systems we found, but we didn't find any. So I'm gonna actually exit out. Hey.
Faster than light jump successful.
Here.
Evasion successful.
Go to the Nimbus cluster. Even though we have the colony there, we will be back here in a moment. I think this is the first time that we deal with. Here we go in the journal. Medical supplies. Normandy's doctors noted a group in refugee camp it has military and medical supplies. It needs simple civilian necessities. Meet tactics as a refugee camp to broker a trade. And Primar Victus implicates Volus ambassador Din Korlak as a possible Cerberus informant. Investigate him in the Presidium embassies. Shore Leave is the settled DLC. Cerberus scientists, which we'll be going and doing that later. This is the distress signal that we're near right now. This is the Quarians, which will get me my favorite squad mate. Prothean data drives, got those. Hades Nexus. So you need to go to Hades Nexus. And the Nimbus cluster where we are now. And I always do the other systems, the other solar systems in there first.
I found something.
This one will tend to not, at least usually, have look, as you can see, there's a lot to get in this system because we found the one thing over there.
Signal confirmed.
I found the Library of Asha. It's 100% there. That means that in Pelon, where the mass relay is, which we're actually going to go to so we can go refuel in another system because we are vastly low.
I found something.
Even though usually I found an intact Reaper weapon. Now we're going to leave that one there, because what'll happen is once we do the mission, which we're going to do, the investigate the Asari colony, it will reset the Reaper alertness. So it resets the board. I'm gonna change things up. We're gonna take Ashley. And Liara. Rather than taking Javik. Since we haven't had this is the first time we've had Ashley with us. I don't want to do that one because it's got its fire. Even though its damage is really high, its accuracy is a drop, and the fire rate is way lower. Need a careful balance. But for these two, those things don't necessarily matter as much. Now, for the first time, I actually have somebody who's going to be using an assault rifle and a sniper rifle. And since the weight of these weapons for your companion party members doesn't affect anything. I got 2 points, so I can't do anything with Shepard. Ashley has 28 points to spend. So of course we're gonna maximize out her her alliance officer. Do the amplification on there. And now she's got 2 maxed out things. Not a lot of the other stuff, but whatever. Liara's got 6, so we can actually max out her... We're going to max out her pure biotic. We're going to help out everybody. Sake of doing it.
Dig up any information on the mission, Liara?
I did, and I now understand why High Command wanted to hide it. We're headed to an Ardat Yakshi monastery.
Ardat Yakshi? Like Morinth?
Morinth chose to be a killer. These Ardat Yakshi isolated themselves to avoid that. But it doesn't mean they're harmless. Their urge to feed can be powerful. That's why High Command sent in commandos to investigate the monastery's distress signal.
So the Asari throw us at the problem? What's the plan?
If there was a chance the Ardat Yakshi could break loose, the commandos were to purge the monastery.
Purge. You mean destroy?
They would have brought heavy explosives with them, yes.
Morinth was dangerous. But are the Ardat Yakshi this big of a threat?
Morinth was just hitting her stride. Ardat Yakshi who kill leave behind astronomical body counts. It's why they can never be free, and why they're such a great source of shame to the Asari. That's why High Command won't rest until this place is destroyed. They'd never risk a single Ardat Yakshi getting loose.
Alright, I thought I had one. Probably my bottle of water.
Don't assume anything. Maybe the Ardat Yakshi sent out the distress call. If the Asari want us to destroy this place, I need to know what happened.
Agreed. Once we give a report to High Command, they'll stop wasting lives here.
This is where we get our first glimpse at one of the new enemy type.
Another shuttle. Still warm.
You want to run around and make sure you get all the... Find all the things you can.
Elevator disabled. To prevent entry or escape, I wonder.
This is one of the kind of horror movie mission-ish missions.
Sounds close. A little too close.
What was that?
Stay sharp. I heard something.
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Delay. You won't believe what Yanis managed to smuggle in. A copy of Vanya. Meet us after supper in the library. Bring some study work. Reel is floor warden tonight, so act natural. We'll be by the East Video Banks. This is gonna be so great. See you there. Oh, and delete this once you listen to it. Not like last time.
Students aren't allowed to visit each other's quarters or to meet in rooms unsupervised by staff. Students are also forbidden from extranet communication without approval from senior staff members. There are no exceptions to this rule. First offenders will have their free time revoked for a month. Further violations will be met with confinement. Our monastery is our shelter. For it to remain that way, we must make sacrifices. If we do this, I have faith we can continue to enjoy the order and peace this place has given us. Matriarch Galay. Dungeon new daily schedule. Please make note the wake up times has been moved forward 15 minutes. Floor wardens can download shore lists later this week. Or myself if you have any questions. Sincerely, Superintendent Jethra. 5:30 to 5:45 wake up. Breakfast 5:45 to 6:15. Morning meditation 6:15 to 8. 8 to 10 study period. Chores 10 to noon. Noon to 12:45. Midday meal. Classes 12:45 to 5. Study period 5 to 6. 6 to 7 supper, 7 to 8 evening meditation, 8 to 10 free period, 10 p.m. curfew. I'm not saying that that's excessive, but that's... There's regimen and there's that. At least in my opine.
This was the Commandos, Captain. It seems they gave their lives fighting the Reapers.
This monastery's out of the way. What do the Reapers want with Ardat Yakshi? Anything useful?
A map showing the nav point location of a bomb. Some room called the Great Hall.
So the Commandos started the purge after all.
Ardat Yakshi or not, evacuating this place would have saved a lot of lives. If there's no survivors, let's get to the Great Hall and set off that bomb.
Very good. I almost didn't hear you.
Samara?
It has been some time, Shepard. You are a most welcome sight. The corruption here runs deep.
I assume you're here on your own, Justicar. Perhaps for something special?
You are correct. 2 of my daughters live here, and I have come for them. Unfortunately, the Reapers had already infested this place by the time I arrived.
So, Mass Effect is my favorite video game series. Mass Effect 2 being my favorite video game.
You met me hunting down your other Ardat Yakshi daughter. Are these ones just as dangerous?
Falere and Rila have followed the monastery's rules ever since they arrived. They've shown no inclination toward violence.
And you're here to save them.
They are my responsibility. And it's one that cannot be abandoned, even as our galaxy crumbles.
They are pretty games, but the mechanics and the storyline are what keep me coming back.
Let's go together. Maybe your daughters can tell us why the Reapers hit this place.
I suspect they will have much to tell us. It has been centuries since I last saw them. We're out of time. We'll meet again. I will draw these creatures off.
Wait! Let's go.
And especially in this, I try not to talk too much during the cutscenes.
Not sure how I feel about doing the Asari's dirty work.
We need them on our side.
Well, Asari Command owes us big time for this.
Agreed.
Because the voice work in this is also really good. I would recommend if you're going to play.
My name is Tashia Pore. I'm wounded. Bad. Give this to my bondmate, Weshra. Asked her to go to the Citadel and tell Weshra I love her. Tell her. Sorry we fought. I was an idiot. Didn't mean any of it, Weshra. Want you to have everything of mine, okay? Love you. I love you so.
Pick up the Legendary Edition, which is the version that I'm playing now. It was the one that's native for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and of course it is compatible with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series. Also PC. But particularly with Mass Effect 1, the quality of life improvements are drastic. And I cannot, and it is not overstating that they are incredibly drastic improvements.
What the hell?
Used to be a person. An Asari. What have the Reapers done?
Mass Effect 2 just had, I don't think it's not that, oh, it has a better story than any others. It's just its story combined with the right gameplay elements plus the characters that you are introduced to. Are there some duds in Mass Effect 2 character-wise? Yes. There are duds in every squad-based game where you have multiple characters. Mass Effect 2, by and large, though, keeps the best characters from Mass Effect 1. And adds more likable characters than not.
Mother, you came.
As soon as I was able. Shepard, this is Falere, my youngest. She and her sister Rila are Ardat Yakshi. They have been...
They have Rila.
What?
I saw some of those creatures take her into the Great Hall. I've been trying to get there.
What are the Reapers doing here?
Harvesting us. They're turning us into those monsters. Please, you can't let that happen to Rila.
Simple terms, by the point of Mass Effect 3, save the universe. That's the objective of the story.
The Asari thought the Ardat Yakshi were to blame for the attack.
This is our home. Most of us are grateful to be here. The monastery is a place Ardat Yakshi can achieve peace.
Falere speaks truthfully, Shepard. I vouch for her words, with pride.
Then we have to find Rila fast. The Great Hall has a bomb in it.
A bomb? What, didn't you come to rescue people?
We'll try, but we can't leave this place standing, Falere.
You sound like the Commandos. They didn't stop to help anyone.
Falere?
I'm sorry.
Falere!
So the Asari, the blue ones,
The Great Hall. She's looking for Rila.
all female species.
We'll meet you there.
Please.
Can mate with any species, male, female, any of them. But their children are all Asari. They will all be the blue people. Their children will all be blue females. That's...
You'd need a crowbar to pry those doors open.
This place was beautiful before the Reapers came.
Of course, you've got humans. There are a lot of different species. What I would recommend,
Jethro, this is Galay. I've blocked extranet access. We don't need the students panicking about these Reaper rumors. Still, it will not hurt to tally our supplies. Please bring me an inventory before evening prayer. I'll contact Cessia later tonight to inquire what set the Asari to war. Go in peace.
You have Quarians, which are a spacefaring species that, an involuntarily spacefaring species.
Got it.
If I come across somebody and you hear or see something, just ask and I will give you as much information as my brain can recall at the time. Of course, waiting for voice lines to finish, because Had a new girl put in a holding chamber. Justicar, who brought her to us, Justicar Fora, said she had trouble convincing the prisoner coming to the monastery was necessary, and may explain why the girl lashed out at the guards. Justicar Fora wasn't here for that. The Justicar code would have demanded an execution. I'll question some other Justicars on the level of coercion for permitted to use by the code. This isn't the first time her captures arrived here terrified out of their wits, but will certainly be the last. Looking over this year's candidates for supervised visits to Thessia, I'm approving everyone but Yanis. She's impulsive, cunning, and worst of all, a romantic. Find me a worse combination to let outside our walls. I just find it suspicious she was even nominated. Let's look into that, and I pray it's not Yanis manipulating other infatuation. It takes a great deal of time and effort to persuade Thessia's government to let our best students visit their home world. Unless Yanis matures, she won't be among them then. She won't be among them. Weapon bench so we can change things, but I'm good with my loadout right now. This is the third game of the original trilogy. So this is the third act of of kind of the so it's yeah, so this is the third game in the original trilogy of the series. There is Mass Effect Andromeda, which goes on to follow different characters in a different area of the universe. Basically, between the second and third game, a colony ship in cryogenic stasis sends out a large group to Andromeda, to the Andromeda Galaxy, and that's what that is. Unfortunately for that one, it is a good game. It is not a good Mass Effect game. But yeah, so where am I in this in this series? This is the end. This is the third part, kind of the last book of the trilogy. One of the other nice parts about the Legendary Edition is the original games, the third one in particular, had a
Another commando got overrun? This place must have been chaos. Or they panicked.
Asari commandos have decades of experience. They don't panic.
Doesn't matter how long you've been fighting. You never know what'll break your unit.
It had a arguably unnecessary multiplayer, because BioWare is owned by Electronic Arts and they have to cram multiplayer into everything. And we level up. See what we can do. Shepherd Sabotage, which I don't use very often, but Up until recently also, Mass Effect is a very well-loved series of games.
There's the bomb.
And Falere.
Rila, wake up!
Falere, Rila cannot hear us.
Look, she's still alive.
I know, but I am afraid Rila is not.
Rila's not one of them yet. She can't be. She just needs to wake up.
And until recently, when Amazon started beginning to work toward
Rila, can you hear me?
making a Mass Effect series, we thought The Expanse was going to be the closest we would ever get to something along those lines. This is not good.
Why did she do that?
Because they've begun to turn her into one of the Reaper's creatures.
I'm sorry. Can we set off that bomb?
We need a detonator.
Commandos would have had one. We've got to find it.
Well,
Later.
so we've got in this, I think that the voice acting for the female version of Shepard is better than the male version of Shepard. And I like the capabilities of more of the female characters than I do the male characters.
That's the last one.
For now. Let's get back to that bomb.
So yes, when I'm playing, my squad tends to be primarily ladies. Especially once I've gotten Talizora Vasnima Noraya.
Falere, go! Take the elevator! Rila, what are you doing? It's too late for me. There are hundreds coming. Just go!
Move!
No! Rila!
I love you.
Rila!
Take care. Sleep well. Have a pleasant day tomorrow.
Not your slaves. Rila, there wasn't even time to say goodbye.
Few can break the Reaper's hold. Rila's will was extraordinary, as was her love for you.
We left her to die.
Rila made her choice, and it has reminded me of what is truly important. Why I swore I'd lay down my life.
What is that?
Falere, the code demands an Ardat Yakshi cannot live outside a monastery that no longer exists.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Shepard. By the Justicar's code, there is only one way to save Falere.
Mother, no!
My daughters, you were all so much... Let go.
What are you doing?
Fulfilling the code.
By throwing your life away?
I won't kill my last daughter.
You won't have to.
Falere?
I'll stay here. Home. No matter what's become of it.
Without a proper monastery...
I could have left any time. I don't need a building to honor my own code. And if the Reapers return, they won't take me alive. I promise.
Then, the code permits you to stay, as you are. Once this war is over, and if I am able, I will visit, as a Justicar should.
I'd understand if you wanted to help Falere rebuild a home here.
It must wait now that I can help oppose the Reapers. I'll speak with Falere, then join your forces. If you'll have me, of course.
I'd be honored.
The honor is mine, my friend.
Everything's taken care of down here. Bring in the shuttle.
Right, Commander. I'll just follow the smoke.
Old trophy time.
I read your report, Commander. We had no idea the situation had deteriorated so quickly.
That's why I set off the bomb.
May the Ardat Yakshi find rest. What the Reapers did to them was monstrous. I had another team of commandos headed to the monastery who I can now formally transfer to Admiral Hackett's command. They'll serve you loyally, Commander. Farewell.
Banshees are the corrupt...
Hey. Athena Nebula and the Hades Nebula.
I just figured you'd be more sympathetic to someone joining Cerberus. You've never been big on aliens.
Yeah, I enlisted to kick ass, just like everyone else. But I need a better reason than it has scales to go kill somebody. And if Cerberus is taking our dishonorable discharges and Cat 6 washouts, it's just one more reason they're not worth a damn.
Commander, there's a new message at your private terminal. The Crucible Project received some new tech from the Asari government.
I'm glad they've decided to help the war effort.
Everybody has to fight now, no matter how pretty you are. I learned that the hard way. Commander?
Memorial. Ashley Williams' sister got everything set up at the Citadel Memorial. She showed me that she's going to put up on the wall. It's nice. Wish she could do something to make it easier for her. She wants me to say something about our family. Know you're busy. It would mean a lot if you could be there. Go. I discovered if you think about my sister, it's bad. There's something else going on. I'm back on the Citadel. I'll find a place to meet you at the nav point when you get here. Take a break. Garrus wanting to take a break on the Citadel. Mara, finished my business on Lysis. Would offer to travel once again with you on the Normandy, but my code dictates I join the fight where it is most dire. While you do your essential work, I'll do my best to keep hold of the front. Before I depart, I will return to the Citadel for a short time to prepare. If it does not interfere with your duties, come find me there. Sorry, squad ready. An hour ago, Scary Hat Command has assigned my squad to support you. Arrive with 2nd Fleet until it's time to deploy. If you'll allow me a personal note. I knew a few of the commandos that went down in the who went down to that monastery. Nothing will bring them back, but hearing the place went up in smoke, it was good news that he heard this week. Captain Lauren Lemez. Liara on the Citadel, and Yavik visiting the Citadel. Okay, so it was Hades Nexus. And the Athena Nebula. Gotta remember where these are. Athena Nebula was one I needed to go to. Conveniently, there is a fuel depot where the mass relay is. Still getting around in this nonsense.
Signal confirmed. Reapers eluded.
Cruiser.
Faster than light jump successful.
Definitely gonna have to come back here. Sadly. Try and look in the other systems first. It is somewhat annoying that they forgot that for some reason that there's that little bit of a glitch where Hey, we're not actually looking at this one, but we're looking at it. Because I don't mind reloading, I'm gonna... We do this again.
Signal confirmed. Evasion successful. I found something.
Here's what I needed. The Hesperia period statue.
Reapers eluded.
Get over here. Refuel. Scan enough to make them grumpy and then hit the mass relay. Okay, I guess we're not going to make them grumpy. We are going to hit the mass relay, and we need to go to... Hades Gamma, was it? I think it was Hades Gamma. Hades Nexus. Which I might not be able to do until after I do the Orient one. Possible. But we're gonna go here to Caucasus.
Faster than light jump successful.
Irksome. Okay, so I have to wait to do that one until after I have to talk to the Quarian. So, we're gonna go back to the Citadel. And turn in what we can turn in.
You're cleared to dock, Normandy. Do you need ground transport?
I need to get to the embassies.
Navigation is becoming increasingly difficult due to the number of refugee ships in the docking area.
It means we do need to go to the docking area, which we already know about.
Elysium was attacked, but Alliance forces were able to evacuate all stores.
Hell of a view, isn't it?
During our war, this place became a myth to my people. A dream glimpsed only in the memory shards. The Citadel was both the heart of our civilization and its demise.
The Reapers hit here first, didn't they?
No one I knew had ever seen the Citadel. To be here now, I don't know what to think.
It might not seem like much, but a Prothean is standing on the Citadel alive. That's a victory in itself.
Perhaps. When things were at their darkest, we used to tell stories, imagining the wonders of this place. The seat of our empire. The power to sway worlds. The galaxy belonged to us.
Nowadays, a lot of races have embassies here.
It's true then. You share power with the rest?
It's not perfect, but it's kept the peace. Most of the time.
Pardon me. This one has been listening. This one suspects you are a Prothean.
Ehana. I remember your kind when you were still minnows in the ocean.
This one is unworthy. This one has seen the face of an Enkindler.
They consider your kind to be their gods.
A pity we did not teach them to speak better.
You're really a Prothean?
I am.
But if you lost the last war, what hope do we have?
For many, there may be no hope. The Reapers killed trillions in my cycle. The odds of being...
I don't think that's gonna work.
But you are still alive now. That alone is a miracle. And you still have the power to fight. My people knew your kind when you were young. Turian, Asari, Hana. There was potential in all of you. Now you must seize that potential and become the weapon you are meant to be. The weapon that tells the Reapers we are not machines. We are alive, and we will fight back.
Thank you. That meant a lot. Commander Shepard, it must be an honor to have a Prothean fighting alongside you.
He's starting to learn his way around. Javik is one of the best soldiers I've ever seen.
The commander is a capable warrior as well, for a human who once lived in caves. Thank you, Commander. I've enjoyed my time here, walking among the young. I will see you back on the Normandy.
While the Alliance takes heavy losses, Turian troops have been bolstered by Krogan support on Paladin.
You gotta kind of make sure that Javik doesn't, you know, depress everybody.
Proves that the Krogan are ready to return to the Citadel.
I hoped you'd come. I won't remain here much longer.
What are you doing on the Citadel, Samara?
I suppose I came to say goodbye. Falere is safe, and Rila is at rest. I felt the need to speak to you before heading to battle. I want you to know there is no one else I'd rather see leading us in our last hours.
We'll make the galaxy proud. The largest fleet in history is already on our side.
It is impressive. Most would have deemed such an alliance impossible. But Shepard, be sure to assess your force's strengths and weaknesses before setting out.
What are the other Justicars doing for the war?
Most have made it home. They will attempt to hold Thessia. With the odds we face, it's possible our order will no longer exist after this war.
There's that few of you?
Our numbers were never great. We must prepare to sacrifice ourselves, if that is what's required.
Was being a Justicar worth it if that's how it all ends?
The Justicars were formed to bring order to a world that laughs at the notion. The role is solitary. Its demands are lonely and uncompromising, often to the point of pain. But following the code left me with no regrets. Take that for what you will.
You know, I never asked you if your code has anything useful on fighting Reapers.
Treat them as any other enemy. Show no quarter, mercy, or weakness. The only difference is the scale of our foe. The code is too strict to account for such small discrepancies.
Is that how you see it too?
You yourself killed a Reaper on the Citadel, and then another on Tuchanka. I can only follow such bravery.
Will Falere be all right in the monastery? Or what's left of it?
We spoke for some time. It won't be easy. But if there is a way to survive, Falere will find it. It was good to see her again. Perhaps it's unseemly for a Justicar to dwell so much on her family.
I'm just happy things worked out.
I was fortunate that Falere saw things so clearly. And it would have turned out quite differently without your intervention. Thank you.
Good luck out there, Samara.
You as well. I don't know if you believe in such things, but Goddess go with you, Shepard. We'll both be tested in fire, soon enough.
Reaper forces continue their assault on Asari space, claiming the Nimbus cluster and the Salian Nebula.
Miranda in the Spectre office.
Look, I filled out all the forms requested and jumped through every hoop. I don't even know where Nyota is, and I'm gonna be deployed soon, too.
Of course, the Earth Council's office closed off because he was a traitor to humanity and the Council.
Good to see you're all right, Shepard.
Miranda, what's going on?
Couldn't meet in person. The Citadel is too dangerous right now. I heard about the attempted coup.
Yeah, with Kai Leng's help, Udina nearly seized control.
Kai Leng? That slippery bastard's still alive?
He's alive and right in the middle of all this.
That complicates things. I'll be on my guard. Look, I don't have much time, but I learned what happened to my sister.
Where is she?
I don't know that yet, but my father was definitely responsible. If he's done anything to her, I'll kill him.
Miranda.
Shepard, listen. I'm being hunted by Cerberus assassins. A lot of them. I need to stay out of sight.
What? Why?
I heard a rumor, maybe more, that my father is working on something for the Elusive Man. Something big.
Why would your father be working with the Elusive Man? Especially now.
My father is ruthless about preserving his legacy.
Legacy?
He has an obsession with making his mark in history, ensuring his dynasty lasts forever.
And you think the Elusive Man made him an offer?
Exactly.
Whatever's going on with your father can't be good. We have to figure this out.
I agree, but I need to do this myself. It's time I stopped running from him.
You're sure?
Yes. I can't think straight until I know Ori is safe.
Be careful.
I can't promise that, Shepard. Could you?
No. I couldn't.
Page for Din Korlak and Korlak Ambassador. Din Korlak, current location is unknown. Biometric analysis does not detect him in any public location this time. Last known position is an office suite near the human embassy.
With so many pieces to put back together since the Cerberus attack, we're reeling from the implications. Udina in league with Cerberus trying to murder the Council. These are dark days for all of us.
Thought you'd be in the hospital.
If I'm breathing, I'm working. Probably the worst I've ever been hurt. Fitting, I guess, given the state of the galaxy. But if Cerberus thinks a few slugs is gonna keep me out of action, they've got another thing coming.
You hear anything about your family out there?
Not a peep. Always believed I'd get a chance to tell my ex-wife a few things. And my kids on Earth. I was supposed to visit them. First vacation in years, but I had to cancel when I got promoted.
Don't give up hope, Bailey.
Thanks, Shepard. I'm really trying not to think about it.
All that time you were working for Udina, did you ever suspect?
Always rubbed me a little wrong. Still, that traitorous bastard upped me. Probably made me for an idiot. I guess I proved him right.
He's dead and you're still here, Bailey.
Thanks to you. If you hadn't shown up, Udina and Cerberus would be dancing on my grave.
Could this station be defended?
The internal security breaches have been patched, but we're dangerously low on manpower. We're grilling our own people and trying to figure out if Udina acted alone, but it's time-consuming. All in all, we're still vulnerable, but I think we've taken the right steps.
How does the Citadel fit into the war now?
The war finally found us. This is so far beyond our imagination, and we have been trained to expect the unexpected. Since the coup attempt, folks are shutting down and shutting in. I hear a lot of praying. And crying. They're saying this is the war to end all wars. Well, I haven't seen anything to say they aren't right.
No time for rest. Good luck, Bailey.
Yeah, you too, Shepard.
Let's see. Go to Normandy's dock.
Heavy losses are mounting as human colonies Elysium, Tiptree, and Sue's Hope are hit by Reaper forces. Grissom Academy also.
Spectre status recognized. One moment, please.
I could do it right before leaving, but I'm gonna knock this out now.
Now arriving at docking bay D-24.
Yes?
Shepard, glad you came.
What'd you have in mind?
Something that doesn't involve fighting Reapers.
I don't think they've conquered the bar yet.
I already scoped it out. But then I thought, if this was my last day alive, I'd actually like to remember it.
So?
So, I had an idea.
Where are we going?
Somewhere we're not supposed to.
Some things never change, do they?
Ever have that one thing you always wanted to do before you died, Shepard?
Too busy trying to live. What's yours?
The whole time I worked at CSEC, I'd stare up at the top of the Presidium and say to myself, I want to go up there. But I never did. There were 137 regulations telling me I couldn't.
So you got them changed?
No. Now I just don't give a damn. Figured it's time to do something stupid just for the hell of it. Might be the last chance we ever get. A little busier than I imagined.
How about a dive in the pool?
You obviously haven't seen Turians swim. It's a lot of flailing and splashing, interrupted by occasional bouts of drowning.
Yeah, you're right. I just have to save your ass again.
It'd make up for all the times I pulled your ass out of the fire. Noveria, Pharos, Ilos. We've had a hell of a ride, haven't we, Shepard?
Times like these, you know who your real friends are. They're not the ones running around looking for an escape route. They're the ones who stand at your side through the worst of it. Who never give up on you. I'm lucky I can say I know someone like that.
So am I. You're not going to propose marriage now, are you? Now, before we head back, there is one thing we're going to settle. Once and for all. I'm not saying you don't know how to handle a gun, just saying some of us know how to make it dance. So, let's find out who's really the best shot.
There are a few people in the galaxy who've seen me in action, Garrus. They seemed impressed.
Yeah, but I've actually seen you dance, Shepard. No comment.
All right, Vicarian, you're going down.
And don't worry, I loaded it with practice slugs for when you miss. That was an easy one. Let you build up your confidence. Long range, I wrote the book. Nobody alive can do this, not even Commander Shepard. Give me a tough one.
Oh!
I said a tough one.
Step aside. Do it.
I'm Garrus Vicarian, and this is now my favorite spot on the Citadel.
It's windy up here.
Think I'm going to erect a monument right here. Bronze this gun so the whole galaxy knows.
That you're the king of the bottle shooters. Glad you're around, Garrus. Never know when the bottles might revolt. I recovered Prothean data drives from Garvug. I'll have them brought here.
Commander Shepard, thank you. I'm sure that'll help with, any operation we have going.
Have you discovered a way to run FTL spaceships without an EZO core, Private Talabi?
No, ma'am.
Then consider this a serious assignment. Intel's expecting a Cerberus raid.
Cerberus? Cerberus?
Go to the embassies, talk to the guard.
There a problem?
I thought we were fighting Reapers, ma'am.
But I am going to... oh, well, let me go there, so we're not going to bother.
Spectre status recognized. Please select a destination. One moment, please. Now arriving at Presidium Embassy.
So everybody making sure that you're drinking your water. Keeping well hydrated.
Lieutenant Commander Ashley Williams, the second human Spectre, assisted Commander Shepard in preventing Cerberus forces from killing the Council.
Was the Volus ambassador here earlier?
Yes, he was, Commander.
I need in. Spectre business.
I'll unlock the office when you're ready.
Against the Council.
You've never been this uncooperative with us before, Ambassador.
That's because you were actually doing some good in the galaxy before.
Has that changed? How many colonies would be gone if we hadn't taken action against the Collectors?
Too many. But fighting the Alliance...
Must continue in order to end the war. We understand it took a lot for you to reach out to Cerberus, Ambassador Korlak. We ask that you trust us a little longer.
You people are monsters!
Ambassador, please.
Hundreds dead. Udina betraying the Council. I should have cut ties with you ages ago.
And what will that accomplish now? The risks you took by passing information to Cerberus, it's left you in an interesting position. If you sever contact, we can't protect you from the consequences.
I have no time for this.
We'll speak again. Have a good day, Ambassador Korlak.
The Turians think I'm still working for Cerberus. They've put a price on my head. I can't go to C-Sec, but Cerberus has plans. An entire Turian colony rests on my life. If anyone finds this, I hid a tracking receiver in the office suite beside the human embassies. What are you...
Damn, Cerberus has them everywhere nowadays.
You gonna go on about them all night?
Just get the car up here quick. Little bastard's even heavier than he looks.
Saeed?
How long till we killed Korlak?
Once the credits go through. Was beginning to think you weren't interested in the money.
I'm not. Because Korlak worked for Cerberus? What'd they do to you? None of your goddamn business. He waking up?
This is Commander Shepard. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Tell me where you are.
We're still near the Presidium. C-Sec will check Selkish arms when they realize I'm missing.
They won't give a damn when they realize you sold them out to Cerberus.
Wait. Cerberus is planning to attack a colony that...
Stay calm. Help's coming.
Now arriving at
Saeed used to work for Cerberus. Ask him why he's here.
Why? Why go after your old employer, Saeed?
How you know my name all of a sudden?
Good question.
Stated that his support of the Turians proves that the Krogan are ready to return to the Citadel.
No, the Krogan are the only race that can fight on the toxic world, so they need support. Well, ideally, something like a Cactuosaur. They're good in mountains, immune to toxins, ferociously loyal to their riders. Yes, they'd be ideal. Unfortunately, they were driven to extinction during the Rachni War. So, unless we can engineer something new, Krogan on toxic worlds will have to fight on foot without support.
Damn, wrong door. I need you alive to stop Cerberus.
Cerberus is after a Turian colony. Kill me, and they get it.
Drop my name.
Shepard's investigating. She's a recent acquaintance.
How recent?
Very.
Shit. All right, I'm listening.
Been a while, Zaid.
Shepard. Glad I wasn't just making an ass of myself over a hunch. Undisciplined bastards. This is what I get for signing up at the last minute.
Where's Korlak?
I'm here, Commander. You saved my life. I almost died because the Turians thought I was still with Cerberus.
Did those mercs hurt you?
I'm fine. They wanted me alive until the fees were delivered for my capture. They didn't care about what I had to say.
You kept mentioning a colony in your message.
Information on a Turian planet's defense system. They'll strike soon. But if I tell you which planet they're attacking, Cerberus will know I turned traitor.
Turn? You already betrayed your own people.
We saved your life. Tell us what planet you put in danger.
I can offer a bargain. The Volus bombing fleet. In tactical terms, it's worth far more than a colony.
Or you could give us both.
You can warn the Turians there'll be an attack, Commander. That should be general enough to ward off suspicion.
You tried to do the right thing before. It failed because you trusted the wrong people. Now here's your chance to make up for it. You're giving us Volus support, and you're going to help us make Cerberus pay for using you.
I can't.
You can.
Waste of everyone's time trying to appeal to a Volus' better nature, Shepard.
Aphis. The colony's name is Aphis. Cerberus wants its shipyards.
And the bombing fleet?
Yes, it's yours, Commander. I'll speak with Citadel Security about this incident. You have my thanks.
Took him long enough to spit that out.
Zaid, what are you doing here?
Later, C6 on their way. Won't be too pleased with the mess we left them. Catch up with me at the docks if you like.
No replacement has been selected for the position vacated by Councilor Danelle Udina, who died assisting Cerberus
Bank.
against the Council.
I think I know which project you mean. And I've got a Hesperia period statue in Bay D24.
Commander Shepard, that's excellent news. I'll have it sent to that project right away. Thank you so much for your help.
Welcome to Elkos Combine Arsenal Supplies. Thank you. Come again.
I'll Favreau and buy him more stuff later.
In a surprise move, Batarian ships from the fallen Batarian hegemony have joined Alliance forces. Hegemony leaders have stated that defeating the Reapers supersedes old grudges. Cerberus attacks to take control of the Citadel.
Her name is Tasha Poray.
Weshra? I have an audio log for you.
For me? Where did this come? Oh no. Oh, Tasha. Thank you for bringing this back. At least I know what happened.
Welcome
I was getting to do a bit of running around.
Weaponry.
All goods have been marked down with our special wartime discount. Casa Fabrication Weaponry hasn't forgotten Earth. Neither should you.
May as well pick up some stuff since it's comparatively cheap.
Good hunting. You sure you don't want to do something a little more exciting?
I love this part of the Presidium. It reminds me of where I grew up.
Where's that?
Armali, back on Thessia. My mother and I lived beside a park. I spent hours there.
Doing what?
Reading, exploring, getting in trouble digging for ruins in the grass.
You're kidding.
I was very young.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cute.
No one else thought it was funny. Oh, the lecture my mother gave me. But she did buy me my first history book the next day. I miss her, Shepard.
What was she like?
She was confident and kind. She loved to wear yellow. I thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world.
You'll be okay, Liara.
Maybe you're right. Thank you, Shepard. I feel better. I wish we could spend more time together like this. Just friends.
Friends doesn't cut it for me anymore, Liara.
Wow, that sounds serious.
I am serious. Whatever happens, I'd like to spend my life with you.
Then you're extremely lucky that I feel that way too.
I know.
Hello, Shepard.
Good, there we go. Sadly, I only got Paramore 2 because you can't romance Liara in 2, and there is no lesbian relationship in Mass Effect 2.
Professional grade equipment at reasonable prices. That's Cypratine. We appreciate your visit. Welcome to Agor Munitions. Our customer service specialists are always interested in purchasing
Remember,
new
all
technology.
purchases made by Agor Munitions will show in your credit report as AM Trading Limited.
The clutch is stabilized? Really? That is wonderful news, my sister. You wish to name the first Hatst after the one who helped us? I think that's a wonderful idea.
Going back to the docks, holding area.
The position vacated by Counselor Denell Reaper by Assistant Cerberus
Spectre status recognized. One moment, please.
Yeah, I know my streams end up being me a lot of running around around the Citadel, because that's kind of what Mass Effect 3 is. You go there, gather things,
Now arriving at docking
do that,
bay
go out,
E24,
find a new place to shoot
emergency
things up,
civilian housing.
come back.
While the Alliance takes heavy losses, Turian troops have been...
Commander, thanks for coming.
This must be really hard on your sister. I'm very sorry for her loss.
It's tough to see her go through this. Damn it. There I go again.
I hope Sarah can find some peace here.
I'm glad I can be here for her. She wanted me to say something about her family. Wanted Thomas to hear it.
You need to be strong for Sarah now.
You're right. I'm so proud of her. She's no career soldier, but there she is, coping with all this. Reminds me of Dad. Whatever was going on, he'd put a smile on his face for us.
Your family made you what you are.
He did his best with 4 daughters and a strong wife. He always said live fire exercises was good prep for facing his girly horde.
Your sister's waiting. You'll be fine.
Right. Here we go. Okay.
Remember the trip to the beach the summer before I left for basic training?
Now I have access to Marksman.
I'll meet you back aboard the Normandy.
Welcome to Batarian State Arms. Stand strong for your people with Batarian State Arms.
What the hell are you looking at?
Nothing. Nothing.
Wondered if you'd show up, Shepard. Figured you'd be too busy recruiting goddamn armies for this war you're in charge of.
I could always use more help.
I'll bet. I've seen footage of what happened on Earth. Tell you what, I'll see if some old contacts of mine are still around. Can't promise you anything, but if enough of them are still breathing, I can lend a hand.
Who are those people you were with?
Bunch of mercs from Omega. Signed on with them when I heard they were making a hit on Cerberus. Should have studied the job longer.
Who are those people you were with?
Bunch of mercs from Omega. Signed on with them when I heard they were making a hit on Cerberus. Should have studied the job longer.
Hey!
Oh. Hey, it's you. Still waiting, I see. Any news?
No, but they promised, right? They'll get here soon.
I'm sure they will. I'll drop by later to check in, if that's okay.
Okay.
The Turians proves that the Krogan are ready to return to the Citadel. Forces continue their assault on Asari space, claiming the Nimbus cluster and the Selene Nebula.
Good guy Turian checking in on the little human girl.
I recognize you. You're Commander Shepard.
And you must be Tactus. Heard the refugees consider you their leader.
Yes, someone needs to sort out this mess. CSEC has tightened access to the Citadel, and we've got desperate people down here with no place to go.
I also hear you need basic medical supplies. Dr. Chakwas spoke of a mutually beneficial trade.
I tried to be clear. In my experience, the Alliance looks out for their own. Trust is a hard thing to come by these days. I know you need our military supplies, but they're worth far more than your basic meds. Her offer wasn't satisfactory.
Your people need our supplies, and my people need every edge we can get. Your combat-grade meds will make a difference. And our mission may just save everyone. Now's not the time for pettiness or mistrust.
With our day-to-day worries, it's easy to forget we are all in this together. I'll have my people contact yours. You'll have your supplies as soon as possible.
I heard about the horrible things Cerberus did during the coup. That's not the organization I joined. There's so much desperation here, but everyone is staying civil. It gives me hope.
Yeah, because you can. The only female character you can romance as a female shepherd is Kelly, and she doesn't count as romance.
Come on!
I know. You don't have to say anything, but I'm about to make my comeback. You just gonna stand there and watch?
Come on!
Heavy losses are mounting as human colonies of Elysium, Tiptree, and Susan.
Yeah, let's see. Dr. James, Kelly, Zaid. Liara. Gotta go to Purgatory, talk to Cortez, Joker, Edie, and check in on Arya.
Spectre status. One moment, please. Now arriving at ward level, Purgatory.
We are here to help you have the best shore leave ever.
Will your new heavy armor keep you safe? I've watched reports on some of the things you're fighting.
Well, it won't stop a Reaper, but an extra second of shielding can be life or death.
So Vortex makes good shield capacitors?
The best. They don't skimp on plating either. Love it.
Sounds like you want to get back out there to try it out.
You know, a little. Can't wait to show it off to the team. Maybe I can take point more often now.
That's not necessarily a good thing.
I recovered some texts from a library in Reaper-controlled space. I can have them waiting for you at Bay D24 if that would help.
Really? Oh, damn. Couldn't hurt. Thank you. Maybe next time we'll help you remember how to fight again.
Look who's here. The Blue Suns, Blood Pack, and Eclipse are in my pocket. I'll send them to war when you're ready for them. Is there anything on your mind? We'll talk later.
Not much to talk to with
I'm
Arya,
sure.
especially since I still need to do the Omega DLC. Or what was DLC, now it's just part of the game.
Hey, Commander. I was just about to get us another round.
So, looks like you two are having fun.
Yes. Joker has been smiling and laughing at a significantly higher rate since he and I agreed upon a relationship. I mean, he is happier.
It seemed like you two might make a good match.
I was not so certain. When I first presented his body to Jeff, he seemed aloof.
Really? What did Joker say?
He said I didn't have to conform to some feminine ideal in order to impress him. I then called him on his bullshit, and we then proceeded to talk normally. After your encouragement, his attitude exhibited signs of change. He said he was reluctant, but you convinced him to go for it.
I might have helped a little.
I see. Thank you for your support, Shepard. This is proving to be an illuminating experience.
Cortez at the lower bar.
Shepard, you made it. Come have a drink with me.
You're looking happy.
You had it right. Yesterday can't change. Tomorrow, we might all be dead. Today is what matters. I'm not wasting it.
I wouldn't have thought a club would be to your tastes.
You don't have to get all hot and bothered to appreciate graceful dancing. There's an energy here. There's light. And Purgatory serves the best drinks. Here.
To you, Steve.
And to you, Shepard. A good friend when I needed one most. Thank you. For everything.
I appreciate that I've got Shepard's reputation almost completely maxed out with very little Renegade. Let's make sure we got everything. Talk to Zaid, Kelly, and James. Talk to Liara. Talk to Edie and Joker and Arya. Talk to Bailey. So we can head out now. We're going to head out, but then basically immediately back in, going to the apartments. I've never actually seen that from the Citadel DLC.
1 moment, please.
And I was worried because I don't want to set off the party yet. I'm sure that's fairly well later in the game. Because yes, I know about the party, but...
I'd like to request a transfer to a zone with Reaper, Sergeant.
And may I ask why you think your
That's already been done.
Thank you again, Commander. I appreciate the assist.
Commander?
Go down to the crew deck.
You always pull through, Commander. We've received the supplies from Tactus.
Everything good?
Indeed. We've acquired some very useful equipment. As such, I've been able to enhance the effectiveness of our Medigel delivery systems. I've also collated information that Liara may find of interest. Check with Cliff.
And you know, since we're down here, let's check in on Liara.
Have we heard from Agent DeTrace yet?
She has not reported in for over 8 hours, Doctor.
She was stationed on Valchir when the Reapers invaded. I think we can assume what happened. Inform Agent Calamus he's now in charge of reporting Reaper activity past the Loas relay.
We got some stuff to do. Look at the upgrades. Power damage, shields, health, store discount, and weapon damage. I'll bump the ammo capacity since I don't think we had that yet. Lasertronic signature. We'll do the power damage. And since I don't care about healing scars, because you don't deal with the scars if you're so much if you're Paragon, I will take the health bonus. This is a recent purchase by Zaid Masani. Aramax Arsenal and Incendiary Grenades, bulk purchase. Thermal Clips, bulk purchase. Metagel, bulk purchase. M451 Firestorm Fuel, bulk purchase. Ablative Armor Plating. Harry Kendar Fuel Rations. Cost Fabrication Weapon Repair Kit. Mount Milgram Triple Distilled 45-year-old Scotch Whiskey, 2 bottles. Rival Parts Discontinued Avenger Series.
Poor Rila. But I'm glad she set off that bomb, Shepard.
You're not upset the monastery was destroyed?
No, not after what I saw. I don't care that they were Ardat Yakshi. To be turned into such creatures, nobody deserves that. Feel free to look around. Feel free to look around.
At your service.
Garrus and Javik are in the lounge. Ash is in starboard observation.
Hey, Commander. I dug out some letters my youngest sister wrote when she was in high school. She was having a hard time. Teen drama and all that. Just needed her big sis. I guess with everything that happened down there, I just wanted to read them again. You sure make some unusual friends, Shepard. That is not a side of the Asari I ever want to see. Shepard? Shepard?
Everybody was fighting the Rachni, trying to push them back through the relay. Finally, the Krogan were turned loose and stopped them.
I see.
But when the Krogan rebelled, we had to deploy the Genophage to stop them. Wasn't the only rebellion. 1,000 years later, the Geth revolted against the Quarians. That was a whole other war. Then along came the humans. My own people tangled with them for a while, and now, to top it all off, we've got the Reapers. What about you?
The Ouroboros fought the Densorin. The Andoromai conquered the Vandomar, and the Jatil turned against the Jah.
So, I guess nobody really ever gets their act together.
The Sinriel claimed to have found the path to eternal peace.
What happened?
The Ditaka preferred war and wiped them out.
I hope you guys had alcohol.
Some of the crew seem shocked by the monstrosities we have encountered. They haven't seen what the Reapers could corrupt after 100 years. That was our war. Every battle conjured a new nightmare. This human holds such childish views of war. Your species has much to learn. Commander. Commander.
Samara's the kind of soldier we need in this war. Nothing gets in her way. I just hope Now it's a mutated Asari. The Reapers are just a giant nightmare factory that never ends. I can only imagine what the Reapers are doing to the Drell. Or the Hanar. Or the Vorcha. This could get a lot worse before it gets better. Later. It's a brilliant tactic, when you think about it.
But it's evil.
When has that ever mattered in war?
Yeah, but converting other light...
Go to the shuttle bay. Maybe level up some weapons. Because why not?
I've always loved the M35 Mako. It's got heart, you know?
Oh, come on. The M44 Hammerhead is vastly superior.
Come on, that thing's made of tissue paper. At least the Mako can take a few hits.
I'd hope so. That thing handles like a drunk rhino. No agility whatsoever.
More like a bull that can climb and climb for days.
It only climbs because of its stupid, vertically aligned Mass Effect fields. Jump or stick. No speed, no lateral movement.
Hey, with a cannon like that, who needs to move?
If you want that, why don't you just stick with the old M29 Grizzly?
Hey, I love that tank.
You would be one to love grizzly bears, Mr. Vega.
What? What's so funny?
Shepard, thanks again for being there at the Refugee Memorial. I feel better. Everything's so much clearer now.
Glad I could help.
Never thought I'd be doing a combat drop onto the Citadel. I can't believe Udina. Great example to the other races, huh? The next time you blow up a monastery, let me know you've left the premises, okay? I worry about you. That last mission on Noveria shows why I love the Kodiak.
All you did was drop them off and bugger out. How are you proud of that?
I seem to remember being shot at the whole time, and everyone coming back in one piece, Mr. Vega.
Yeah, next time park it and come join the party, Esteban.
No.
Cross-checking our parts inventory. Good to see you, Commander.
I don't want Cortez going down there. Sorry. Get everything to equal cost. Because then theoretically everything should be equal. At least that's the way it is in my mind.
Do you hear that hum? Is that just me? Do you hear that hum? Is that just me?
I really wanted to just go up to engineering, not the crew deck. I'm gonna go all the way up. And I'm actually gonna step away for a moment. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that delay. I got Allers. Allers is over here. Nope, this is Javix's space. Allers is over here in starboard.
So, are you doing a story on the Asari who were turned into Reaper creatures?
The Ardat Yakshi? No.
I think that story would be perfect for you. The hidden dark side of the most beautiful race in the galaxy.
We have a huge Asari audience. If I do that story, I could lose them.
That seems a bit like pandering.
Ever seen how fast an e-democracy can abandon its allies?
No.
If I do my job, you won't. Commander, I've got some questions about the coup, but I'm online with my producer right now. Can we set up an interview in your cabin? Call me up when you're ready for that interview, Commander.
Checking with Adams, Donnelly, and Gabby.
Nothing to report, Commander.
Commander.
Nothing to report.
Go up to the commander's cabin. We'll head back down to go to a new location. We'll go down to the CIC and talk to Joker.
Trainer, if you're not doing anything, I've got a few hours free. Would you like to come up?
Your cabin is gorgeous. I've seen apartments smaller than this. Oh, an actual shower. The faucets in the women's bathroom are crap, by the way. Well, Commander, ready to play?
Play?
I picked up a chessboard on the Citadel. GUI interface, not nearly as nice as real pieces, but this takes up less space. And I recall you delivered something that closely resembled a challenge. So, interested?
This is a trap, isn't it?
I'm just a simple lab scientist, Commander. I'm sure your real-world expertise will give you an edge.
Oh, come on!
My word, Commander. It's almost as though you wanted to spare your pawns the indignity of living under my regime.
In real life, that tactic would have worked.
Well, in real life, one doesn't move on an 8x8 square grid.
You know what I mean. The pawns are infantry. A good infantry line like the Krogan can take a charge like that.
That reminds me of a joke. What's the difference between Commander Shepard and a Krogan? One is an unstoppable juggernaut of head-butting destruction.
And the other doesn't have a smart-ass comm officer to keep her in line.
Ooh, that's even better than the number of testicles punchline.
I'm glad you didn't run back to the lab, Trainer.
Thanks. So, rematch?
Hell yes. Trainer, can you send Diana up? She wanted an interview.
Right away, Commander.
Ready for a chat, Commander?
I'm ready.
Commander, it's no secret that Council Space has suffered some serious losses to the Reapers lately. Now Cerberus has struck directly at the seat of our government. If something as small as a human terrorist organization can hit the Citadel, is anywhere safe?
Cerberus has limited resources. This coup attempt was likely the best they could do, and it cost them a lot of money and troops. A little fear is understandable, but it can't paralyze you. They've failed as many times as they've succeeded.
But humanity has lost its counselor. The Alliance Parliament is destroyed, and the Prime Minister's dead. The line of succession is getting pretty short. How long do you expect any new Alliance administration to last?
Leaders will rise. You can't lose hope. Our enemies won't rest until they've taken the last human being. Until then, we're not beaten. Right now, it's everyone's duty to step up.
All right. Now a question from Thessia. Commander, during your tribunal, some said you had Cerberus ties. Thanks for your time, Commander. This is Diana Allers for Battlespace. Good night, and stay strong. Be careful, Commander. You keep feeding me like this, and I'll follow you home.
Looks like you already have. What happens now?
You gave me a good interview, Commander. That's all I need. Tonight.
Except you can't have a fling with Allers if you're female.
James, I've got some time if you want to talk privately.
On my way. Hey man, how's it going?
Good, James. You?
Good, good. Wow. So this is what I can look forward to when I get my own command.
You want your own ship, Vega?
Yeah, maybe one day. When I'm old and I can't fight worth shit anymore.
You just come up here to make fun of your commander.
Sorry, Lola. I guess maybe I got some things on my mind. I wanted to get your opinion on something.
Shoot.
What did you do when they asked you to join the N7 program? I mean, was it a no-brainer for you, or did you think about it before accepting?
The N7 program is a big deal, but it's also a big commitment.
I hear that.
You get the best training, best equipment, best assignments.
And they expect the best in return.
Yes, they do. Why are you asking?
Well, even all the shit that's going on, somebody somewhere managed to track me down and forward an N7 commendation. It's dated the same day the Reapers attacked Earth.
You don't sound too thrilled.
Well, aside from the fact that there won't be an N7 program if we don't win this war, being a soldier's the only thing I've ever been really good at. And not because I try. Hell, I'd have kicked my ass out years ago. Last time I had a command, I lost almost everyone, and they promoted me for it. I guess I'm just not sure if I'm ready to lead again. I don't know if I want that responsibility.
You mentioned that before. What went wrong?
What didn't go wrong? We were out on patrol, checking on some strange readings, and the collectors hit. But they hit the colony first. By the time we got back, most of the colonists had been subdued or abducted, including our CO, Captain Tony.
So you were in charge?
Yeah. We laid low for a bit, waiting for a chance to strike, but before we could, we were betrayed. One of the colonists turned out to be a Cerberus spy working with the collectors. I had no choice. I killed him and destroyed the collector ship. But it got ugly. We lost most of the colonists and all but one of my squad. Not exactly a textbook operation.
You can't blame yourself for being put in a tough situation. And if you were promoted, then something must have gone right.
Sure, but...
If you'd saved them all, would things have worked out better?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The right choice is usually not the easy one.
Yeah. Did you know that before you joined the N7?
Yep. That's why I was asked. And it's why they asked you. There is not a single N7 that hasn't sacrificed either themselves or their soldiers at some point.
So you think I should accept?
Assuming we survive this, that's a no-brainer. You're a damn good soldier, Vega. Don't waste that opportunity.
I'll think about it. Seriously. If you don't mind, maybe don't mention this to anyone else.
Of course not.
Gracias. Well, I think I better get back to the hangar. Things here, it's a little too soft for me.
The bed's a lot harder than it looks.
Are you flirting with me, Lola? I'm going. Thanks again, Shepard.
Anytime.
Now we've done all the talking and interviews, and now we can go to the CIC, talk to Joker. And Edie.
Liara mentioned something about possibly meeting you on the Citadel next time you're there. Commander?
We'll go to the apartment first, and then we'll, faff around with the Liara Citadel.
The Turians will hold. Pound for pound, they're the best fighting force in the galaxy.
Pound for pound is irrelevant, given the significantly higher mass of Reaper forces overall.
That's why we're bringing in the Krogan. Glad you talked Samara down.
I never thought I'd see her flinch from her duty.
I don't know. On one hand, that code's all she's had to live by for, God, centuries. And the galaxy goes to hell. The old rules don't cut it anymore. I mean, we're cutting some corners, right?
A few.
Well, the Alliance can always court-martial us after we save the galaxy. Commander?
Hello, Shepard.
What's on your mind, Edie?
The destruction of the Reaper on Tuchanka. It is rare for a technologically superior force to be destroyed by an inferior one.
Yeah, so now all we need is a gun that fires Thresher mods.
That was a joke.
I'm sorry, Shepard. I was contemplating. The Reapers are more fallible than they proclaim. Despite its best efforts, the one on Tuchanka was destroyed by a worm. This has caused me to reassess the probable period of time before I am non-functional.
You're worried about dying?
In a sense. My processing power is consumed with calculations to help us combat the Reapers. But I can run those scenarios with the rest of the crew. May I ask you another question that troubled Jeff?
Here we go again.
What is the purpose of synthetic life?
It's not that different from organic life. A free-willed synthetic chooses what it wants.
But the purpose of organic life is to preserve itself long enough to replicate copies of its genes in succeeding generations. My purpose is not so clear. The other successful synthetic life forms that I have examined for comparison are the Geth and the Reapers.
Reproduction isn't all there is. We find meaning in the work we do. Good deeds we accomplish. Love.
I see. I will search my files on the biographies of humans to see if prominent figures follow the pattern you suggest. It appears many humans did in fact do so.
That was quick. Gotta love quantum computing.
Shepard, I will alter my processing power to give priority to your stated goals. Duty, altruism, love.
Wait, you're just gonna turn yourself good? Can you do that?
It should take some time. If I have further questions, I will speak with you again. Thank you.
What are you doing, Edie?
Monitoring reports of proton storms and other space weather. With the Reapers attacking the comm buoy systems, critical warnings may be lost.
How bad are these storms?
If we are warned, not bad. If we are not warned, very bad.
Thanks for the info, Edie.
Hello, Shepard. Hello, Shepard.
Commander.
Okay. So we're gonna go check out Anderson's apartment on the Citadel that we've been granted access to. Finally. Look at our first piece of actual DLC content in this. Or at least as far as I can think of. Well, okay, first piece that was DLC content in the original was actually getting Javik, but
Commander, I've got Admiral Anderson on the QEC. Patching him through to you now.
Shepard.
Admiral, how you holding up?
Day by day, Commander.
Yeah. Hackett sent me a message about this apartment.
I want you to have it. Take it off my hands.
Are you serious?
You need a place that's yours. Somewhere to recharge, clear your head. Kaylee wanted us to settle down there. Thing is, the longer I'm on Earth, the less I want to leave. And I want as few loose ends out there as possible. Like I said, you'd be doing me a favor.
That's very generous.
It's practical. We need you in the best shape possible. Rested. Focused.
If you say so. Thank you.
And make yourself at home, damn it. It's yours now.
I'm sure I can manage.
Okay, good. Been meaning to do that for a while. I'll talk to you soon.
Be careful out there, Anderson.
You too, Shepard. You never asked me about this, but my wife just called. My ex-wife. Nobody likes to talk about the toll that long months apart can have on military relationships. She wasn't military. She couldn't handle it. But it's not even about military and non-military, damn it. It's spaceflight. Spaceflight. Finding the mass relays, miracles of engineering. Human imagination rising to meet our desires. We pay a price for that curiosity, that drive. Our relationships suffer. People we love suffer. But that's reality. And it's worth the cost. I must have thought it was. I guess I still do. In the end, you just have to hope you made the right choices. The Normandy? A brand new ship. My ship. You don't forget that moment. The first time you're standing there. The whole crew looking to you for direction. Unforgettable. I'd led men and women before that. Seen a lot of combat already. Always managed to find my way home in one piece. Do that a few times, you begin to think you know better than the next guy. Maybe you do, I don't know. But if you're lucky, really lucky, you find yourself on a good ship, in front of a good crew. A crew you can trust with your life. Gifted. Disciplined. Brave. All of them. Eager to set sail into the endless black ocean. I still remember my XO asking what my orders were. Shepard, I said? The Normandy? A brand new ship. My ship. You don't forget that moment. The first time you're standing there. The whole crew looking to you for direction. Unforgettable. I'd led men and women before that. Seen a lot of combat already. Always managed to find my way home in one piece. Do that a few times, you begin to think you know better than the next guy. Maybe you do, I don't know. But if you're lucky, really lucky, you find yourself on a good ship, in front of a good crew. A crew you can trust with your life. Gifted. Disciplined. Brave. All of them. Eager to set sail into the endless black ocean. I still remember my XO asking what my orders were. Shepard, I said? Let's see what we can find. Okay. I have your new questions here. As a leader. Okay. I have your new questions here. As a leader, do I ever feel that the end justify the means? Spirit of law over word of law. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, but I think I know what you're after. You're referring to the way I, arranged to have the Normandy released to Commander Shepard before the Battle of the Citadel. I'm not sure how valuable hindsight is to the military. Obviously, it worked out for the best. Without the Normandy and Commander Shepard free to do what they needed to do, what we needed them to do, Saren might have taken the Citadel. I think it's clear what a different galaxy this would be if that had happened. I did what I had to. If I had been wrong, I would have gladly accepted the repercussions. The real trick is never being wrong. If you're looking for more action and less philosophy in these notes, let me know. real combat. First for a lot of us. I remember one night early in the war. Strapped to my seat as our transport approached the LZ. Everyone was dead silent. Just the sound of breathing. Good men. I trained with all of them. We were always joking and horsing around, but not this time. Just the rattle of the shuttle. And that heavy breathing. Everyone was thinking the same thing. We're off to fight alien invaders. Aliens. Think about that. We all grew up wondering what was out there. If we were alone in the universe. Now we knew. We weren't alone. And we were in trouble. So there we were. About to face an enemy as different and unknown as we could imagine. I knew I had to say something, keep the men relaxed. So I turned to the soldier beside me, Hendricks, I think, and asked him how his mother was doing. Fine, he said. Why? Because I heard your mama so ugly the Marines thought she was a Turian. Almost shot her. I got a few smiles. Then Hendricks turned to me and said, Hell, Anderson, I heard it was a picture of your mama that started this goddamn war in the first place. Scared the Turians shitless. Everyone had a good laugh at that. And the boys fought great that night. Sometimes that's all it takes. A joke, a pat on the back. Just a little reminder that everything's gonna be okay.
A few months ago, I had a chance to sit down with one of Earth's most decorated soldiers, Admiral David M.
Oh, nice. Get to customize. There's a sushi place on me. Things I wanted to go over with you, but normally in dry dock, I figured you set up a Ryushi at the Ryusei sushi place down in the wards. Here it's the best. The other ones have explored a little bit more. Uncomfortable with the idea of glass steps, but whatever. I guess through the course of the DLC, you get access to other decor options. This is a freaking huge apartment. But I mean, if you're a big enough wig in military and you're just planning it for your retirement, I guess. Plenty of people looking over why is she getting special treatment.
Ah, Commander Shepard, your table is ready.
I'm not surprised. He's a genius.
Hey, Shepard, not bad, huh? The sushi place is serious. Like, French guy at the door serious. Only had to save the galaxy twice to get a table here. You seen the line outside? But here I am, drink in hand. Best pilot in the universe and a rock star.
Any news from the Normandy?
Oh, you know, maintenance stuff. It's hard knowing a bunch of strangers or poking around in my ship. I mean, your ship.
The best thing we can do right now is park her and let the techs do their work.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe an oil change, space tire rotation.
Right. Trust me, it'll do her some good.
Oh, I trust you. Not sure about those shifty aerospace engineers. Always stealing the silverware.
Let someone else do the work for once. Hackett's orders. You're on shore leave.
Yeah, whether we like it or not.
I'm sure you'll manage.
I may need a drink that comes with an umbrella.
I'm the first human Spectre. I'll get you 2 umbrellas.
Awesome use of power, boss. So, your email said it was important?
My email? I'm here because I got a message from you.
The hell? I didn't send anything.
Commander! Excuse me. Sorry. Alliance business. Commander, this is urgent!
I don't think that's the umbrella lady.
Commander Shepard, I'm Staff Analyst Maya Brooks. Alliance. Excuse me. Alliance Intelligence. There are people trying to kill you.
So it's Tuesday?
I think she's aware of that.
No, I don't mean Cerberus and the Reapers. I mean other people. New people. It's... Someone is hacking your account. Comm channels, personal records. They're targeting you specifically.
Targeting me? What do they want?
The intel isn't definitive yet. Last time, I guess without definitive intel, we almost landed troops on a gas giant, which is bad.
Hang on, Brooks. Take a breath. From the top, what do you know?
Excuse me, you don't have a reservation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's performance is brought to you by Random Acts of Violence.
Get down!
Man, I love show business. Spread out, boys. Find me Shepard.
Stay there! I'm coming! Joker.
Ow, my pancreas.
Hey!
Damn it!
Got one, sir.
Find the crew. I'm going after her.
Find the crew. Got it.
Hey!
You used me as bait?
Yes. I used you as bait.
You used me as bait! Did you see that? Savior of the Citadel used a little bone giant bait.
Brooks! Hang on! Commander, I found a secure terminal. Are you okay down there?
Yep. Feeling good. Brooks, you got hit.
I know! I used Medigel. A lot of it. All of it, actually. And now everything is a little bit bouncy.
I think you used too much.
So, can I help with anything?
Alert CSEC. I'll look for a way out.
Citizen, this area is under repair. Please move to a safe location. Warning, this area is unsafe.
Guys, and current emergency units still work, put new ones in place along the section. Customer has permits and wants work to start immediately, even paid up front with a crazy bonus.
This area is under active repair.
Brooks, I see some sky cars across the gap. Maybe a landing pad.
I'm checking the area. Transportation, no. Food, no. Laundry. Ah! It's a sky car lot. Cision Motors.
Get a shuttle over there. I'll find a way across.
Okay, right.
This area is under active repair.
So, it turns out CSEC has the whole area locked down. It's gonna be a tiny bit tricky to get you a shuttle.
Keep at it, Brooks.
Oh, also, stay off your comm. Well, except for me. It's hacked. That's probably how they found you.
Who are these guys?
I don't know. But they really don't seem to like you.
Yeah, I'm sensing that. Hey.
Open the door! CSEC, shut the doors. What's going on?
The server's attacking.
Oh my god. I need to get to my shop.
Security alert. CSEC has restricted all travel within this area. The advance team screwed it up. Shepard was unarmed. Man, those guys are idiots. Gotta be here somewhere. Want to make a difference? Citadel Security needs you. Apply today. She's here! I got Shepard!
I'm fine. Might need a little backup.
Thank the goddess. Joker explained what happened. I'm on foot, but should reach you soon. Excuse me, who is this? You're on an unsecured channel, and you're putting Commander Shepard in danger. In danger? Who is this?
Hang on. Joker mentioned Staff Analyst Brooks, yes? That's her. Everybody play nice.
CSEC has issued a complete lockdown in the lower wards in response to an attack by an unidentified organization. No details are yet known on this.
Yeah, let's not try and fight.
Good to hear. Things are a little dicey.
I am not surprised.
Brooks, found a way across. It's locked down.
Right, because of the, lockdown. Can you get through?
I'll try to override it.
Damn it! Shepard, what are you doing? I heard that from here.
It's all under control.
Alarms are sounding. What happened?
Thought I'd make things more interesting.
I often wonder how your species survived this long.
Fire in the hole!
Shepard, Brooks sent me the nav point for the Skycar lot. I'll meet you there.
Good.
What do we know about these mercenaries?
They have guns and don't like me.
That's not helpful. Commander, it would really be great if you could stay off the comm.
Hey, they called me.
I can't believe Shepard got past the walkway.
Look, here's the deal. You can't just say stuff like Giala. She will freak out. Swear to you, her blue will pop right off. I doubt her dad was a Vorcha. Sort of doubt it. Where are some of the some of you are considering leaving my employ and working for the Hussies over at Micah. I don't care about you like I care. They don't care about you like I care. I super care about you, and the good kind of caring, not the creepy kind. Salacious Vest, Manager Van Allen Belts. I tore my ACL doing some extreme. Starting to black out from the play. Yeah. Oh, guys, I'm like,
Commander, there's a C-Sec shuttle inbound if you can get to the Skycar lot.
Understood.
Okay. Brooks over. No, out. Brooks out. Oh, over and out. Brooks. Oh, damn it.
Having a bad day, Shepard?
better now.
You could say that. Landing pad is over there, but it's behind a locked gate. Let's look for a control panel. I like your outfit. Control panel, right. I heard you fell through a fish tank. We'll talk about it later. A shame. I quite liked that restaurant. We'll talk about it later.
Go around a bit, make sure we pick up everything we can, just for the sake of picking up everything that we can. As you do. I love that all of the cars are the same. Like, do we really need a dealership for all the cars being all exactly the same?
Stand back. One moment. Hello. Could you please open the gate? Thank you.
Please leave.
Terrified little,
Well, I could have done that.
Terrified little dude. Well then. Yeah, you guys made a mistake.
Rex?
What are you doing here?
Just butting heads with the council over Krogan expansion. Shepard, we got a way out of here?
Rex, I'm a professional.
Not a yes.
Not a no.
Commander!
Joker, you lost our ride. Where are you?
On my way. Picked up Brooks. Figured you'd have a few questions.
Good call.
Good to be back. Yeah.
Commander, did C-Sec find you? Are you okay?
Yes and no. Merc's in a C-Sec shuttle.
What?
Little busy right now.
Right, sorry. We'll be there soon.
Almost there, Commander. Hang on.
Great place to fight in. Lots to destroy.
Approaching your position, Commander. Just following the gunfire.
Copy that.
Sorry I'm late. Had to take the scenic route.
Scenic route? We nearly crashed 4 times. Where the hell did you learn to drive?
And Brooks says hi. Get to the shuttle. Good to go, Commander. Gotta go, Commander. Get to the shuttle. Good to go, Commander. Gotta go, Commander.
Someone want to tell me what's going on here?
Who were those mercenaries? They were heavily armed and using C-Sec shuttles.
I don't know. I've never seen them before.
I can't believe you survived all that. They had guns, and grenades, and those drone things.
It's alright. I'm calling Commander Bailey. See what's going on with C-Sec.
Okay, that sounds... Wait! Wouldn't that just make whoever you contact a target too?
She's right, Shepard. Until we know more, it's a huge risk.
Okay. For now, we run this ourselves.
Right. Ourselves. On our own. Outside the law. Okay. Yeah.
Brooks, it's okay. I know this is a lot to deal with.
I got shot. I got Medigel, but still, I took a desk job explicitly to not get shot. And you killed 100 guys with a pistol!
Well, yes, that did happen.
I mean, who does that? Well, you, I guess. But besides you. They said the Medigel might make me jumpy. Do I seem jumpy?
No, not at all.
How did you get mixed up in this?
I monitored data for Alliance intel to prevent fraud and hacking of officer IDs. Like, someone using an Admiral's pass to get into a nightclub on the Citadel when that Admiral is fighting on Tuchanka. I wrote a tracking program. It's really neat. I named it Mr. Biscuits, after my cat.
Brooks.
Right, sorry. Anyway, my program detected a breach in your classified files. Soon, everything we had on you was compromised. Personnel files, mission reports, everything.
Since when does hacking personnel records involve heavy weapon fire?
Think of what criminals could do if they had Shepard's military access codes. Or Spectre codes, even.
Explains why they need you dead, Shepard. Nothing to stop them till the damage is done.
Okay, let's figure out who they are and shut them down. Ideas?
Maybe. That pistol you picked up.
For such a tiny thing, it packs a punch. Never seen anything like it before.
Nor have I. Let me see if I can dig something up.
Well, you can try, but I should warn you, I haven't found anything yet, and I've been digging pretty deep.
I'm sure you have. Glyph.
Collating relevant intel for review, Dr. Tassoni.
Thanks.
All right, the hour's on point. What about the rest of the crew?
Yeah, what about those slackers?
Joker, you've been busy.
I found some folks who actually like being shot at.
Permission to come aboard, Shepard?
And I think I am going to call it there for now. Hope you've had a good time. You know, usual stuff. Be good to each other. We're in the middle of a pandemic, you know, the usual stuff for that. Take care, and as always, end of line.